And then Monday the 29th, that is correct. Monday, we have Celine Gray. The 30th, we have Sexy A. May 1st, we have Psycho Boy Fado. On the 7th of May, we have T Gaines. On the 8th, we have Reed Matthews. On, let's see. On the 14th, we have Hottie. And on the 15th, we have a Stanislaw Von Dubrovnik. So yeah, a lot of big interviews coming up. You can always check out our social media at Wrestling with E for information on when we're interviewing, links to those interviews, and so much more. All right, I think we put ourselves over enough.
I think so.
And going from putting ourselves over to a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with the news. And an interesting bit of news this week was that AEW got a warning from the
Oh man.
Oklahoma sports
Yeah,
commission.
OSEC, I believe.
Huh?
I believe it's OSEC, Oklahoma Sports and Entertainment something commission, something like that.
Well, they warned AEW that the last time that they had a show there, um, Nyla Rose, who is a transgender person, um, competed, and maybe the appropriate paperwork was not done for that.
It, from what I understood, it is not allowed. Or at least she wasn't identified as a transgender person, which uh, ethically is not supposed to be done anywhere. In fact, that's unconstitutional. But I don't know if you keep watching news outside of our news, the best news. But Idaho just passed a ban that denies uh, transgender uh, teens from receiving gender affirming care.
Yeah.
It is yeah. So
Um,
with that and everything, Idaho and now Oklahoma can fuck right off.
well, we're not here to get into politics per se, but when we're talking about um, you know, sports and athletics, is there a fair advantage? If there's not a fair advantage, whatever. But when we talk about pro wrestling, it's a walked sport. So why do we still need athletic commissions overruling what we know is, has a predetermined outcome? You kind of understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do. This is literally just because Nyla Rose is transgender.
I think they just wanted to put
That's
their foot down because
yeah,
everything that's going on.
yeah, and the way Tony handled it was god awful. But he's been handling things god awfully the last week or so.
When has he dealt with anything properly?
Oh god! I just realized this entire episode is going to be. So what Tony Khan did horribly this week is
Yeah, pretty much.
at at this point we might as well have a segment: top 10 bad things done by Tony Khan this week.
Well, talking about somebody that has done bad things in the past, Vince McMahon. Um, it's kind of we're kind of doing a are they now type scenario. Apparently Vince McMahon has been in contact with
Tasked with
Donald Trump,
John Cena.
and
Uh,
getting that good
and,
vice president rope there. John Cena, which we kind of knew, and The Rock.
but so basically, uh, one out of every three conversations is Vince is just talking to thin air.
I mean, he's all. I mean, it's not like he can't talk to other people. I mean, he's not technically
Yeah,
secluded to anywhere.
that yeah. I saw this tweet too. I I really wanted to respond about how they give no real indication except that they use the word still. But and I hate to say this, but even if they are creepy old perverts, uh, you can't change who talks to them. You can't decide who talks to them if you're not, putting them in a, if you're not putting them in prison.
Right.
Um, and it also kind of sounded to me like John Cena and The Rock were being made to feel like knowing Vince, just the act of knowing Vince, even when it was 20 some odd years ago and they didn't know anything about this, uh, they made it this uh, they made it seem like it was wrong for them to talk to Vince at all, and
Again, you're
that's
allowed to talk
that's
to
what got me.
anybody you want. You know.
Yeah,
Well, it does seem, despite everything, he is, from what is reported, at least, living his best life. Uh, he was reported to have taken a trip to the Turks and Cairo, where he adopted 7 kittens and puppies.
are you reading kayfabe news again?
No, I'm not. I'm not joking. That was literally off of a legitimate uh, reporting site.
Uh,
He could you imagine Vince McMahon with 7 kittens and puppies?
I'm gonna step on these kittens.
And I'm gonna shit on them. Was that really necessary?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, I'm a cat person, so
Um, it seems like they're just trying to make him out to look less like the person that we kind of know he already is.
and next week he will be riding a unicorn down the rainbow of friendship.
And he's going to be reading to blind people as well.
He's gonna be no, he's gonna be reading to deaf people and showing a film to blind people,
Salt of deal right there.
and that people will think they're being punked by having to wait for 2 hours to start anything, and then they're told it's over, go home. I don't know who you are. But
Um.
there's more about Vince,
Okay.
and
Okay.
if God, and if he gets this going, I don't know how it could even last. There is a lot of talk about Vince starting a new promotion.
All crappy wrestling.
Uh, I wouldn't. I would not be surprised if Vince tried to start WCW again.
Calling up Ted Turner. Hey there, pal. You wanna get into the wrestling business?
And Jane Fonda's like, "Who is this?"
I mean, would Tony Khan accept the call from Vince McMahon?
Uh, I mean, I think now he would. I'm not. I would not be surprised more if it turns that in let's say a year, we'll give it some a reasonable amount of time, that Vince is actually giving Tony pointers now.
I mean, I feel like Vince McMahon wouldn't do something like that unless he was directly paid to do so. You know what I mean?
It yeah. It just see, the thing is that Vince has always considered, like when he was bringing in the NWO uh, in early 2002, uh, he referred to it as a creation he has to kill,
Right.
and a lot of people were saying, you know, that's not Vince acting. That's really how he sees things in life. Is that if a creation isn't benefiting him, it has to be destroyed, and he has to be the one to destroy it. So I wouldn't be surprised if, just for the hell of it, he would give Tony Khan pointers. Uh, I mean, what else is he gonna do? Step on some more kitties? Uh, there's only there's only so much pussy to go around, man. Uh,
Speaking of pussies, AEW. Um, with the Mercedes Monet coming into the company, Nikki Bella said that seeing uh, Mercedes, I don't know why I can't get that right. Um, seeing Mercedes made her want to sign with AEW, and
uh,
and Tony Khan said that he would be more than interested in having the Bellas join AEW.
he didn't say the Garcia twins.
Maybe he did. I didn't necessarily see exactly what he said, or it just said that there was interest on AEW's part to have Nikki
Uh,
Bella join the company.
yeah, not the one who's actually married to somebody on your roster. Fuck him.
Oh God, I forgot about that. Yeah,
And
uh, Rhea's
and,
living her
and
best life.
yeah, and Nikki is no longer able to actually compete.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, Bree is still very much clear to compete. Uh, I mean, Nikki is Nikki really willing to give up uh, those big Barmageddon bucks.
I mean, I
And
don't think it's a conflict of interest.
and Dancing with the Stars, yeah, uh, tour shows.
Oh God, please stop it. Oh, I think that if she were to sign with AEW, God knows why, the AEW crowd would eat her alive. They could
She
give.
may like that.
Will you stop it? Um, they do not give a, a shit about Nikki Bella. I mean, the women that they currently have, that are all elite originals, they do not care about them. Tony Tony Storm got over against all odds. If I'm being honest, she got herself over. AEW didn't
Yes,
get her over.
yeah, yes. This is the best. This is the best. I might say the best gimmick period we've seen in the last 5 years.
And from reports I've seen, what I've heard from pretty much every source, um, Sasha Money is not doing great TV for them. Everything that she has done has fallen to the wayside, and everybody's saying, they're not utilizing her greatly, and her promos have been sucking.
Y- what else bothers me about that is they're they're trying to apparently achieve their own attitude era. I mean, you had Anna J and AZM making out. I
I thought
mean,
that was
that
Mariah
was.
May.
I thought it was Mariah May too, but who knows anymore. They don't keep track of who's in what feud. It's like uh, it would be like if they just you know you know it's like if they ruined Hikaru Shida by having her job on a Ring of Honor card. Oh wait, uh,
Oh my God, did that actually
that
happen?
yes,
Wow.
but do you know who it happened to or for? And I was going to
Billy
say this at the beginning.
Billy
Yep,
Starks.
yep.
All right, well, I'm kind of okay with
The
that,
the,
considering who it
the
was.
I mean, yeah, Billy Starks, the new Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion.
Congratulations to
Uh,
her. I didn't even know.
yeah, I didn't even know there was that title. Um,
Wait a minute. It's not Athena's title?
I mean, Athena has her own Ring of Honor World Championship,
Then what belt does Billy Starks have?
World Television Champion.
Oh, fuck off. Really? They needed a second Ring of Honor Women's Championship?
Yeah, well, NXT is doing a secondary women's singles title.
That
Yeah, the women's North American Championship. Uh,
they don't have enough women to compete in the main division, let alone enough for a second division.
hey,
What?
I would rather see a second belt for the women, then futile attempts to kickstart a women's division.
Well, alright, with the NXT women, I'll retract my previous statement. If they give the belt to Nikita Lyons, I'll be happy. And just let her have it for as long as she wants it.
And if Nikita Lyons, and if Nikita Lyons ever wants to give it to me, I will be more than happy with that. I will be her human stool.
That's what Vince McMahon said.
That really was the song thing to say.
Um, Keeping up on AEW news, Motor City Machine Guns are apparently joining the company.
Another team to bury.
I mean, does it really matter at this point? Has anybody said, "Oh, well, we haven't seen those Motor City Machine Gun guys. We
Yeah,
really enjoyed their
yeah.
wrestling.
Alex,
We definitely need another um Young Bucks Motor City Machine Gun match because I'll put
and that's
asses in
about
seats."
it. That's about it. But Alex, Chris, enjoy your new home working Collision every 2 weeks.
Well, you're being nice, Collision. I was thinking Rampage.
No, because then there'll be the chance of it running into another third hour, and collision only takes a third hour when they decide to do Battle of the Belts, which they've had 10 Battle of the Belts in 4 years, but they've
Has anybody ever won a belt at Battle of the Belts?
I'm sure at least one.
And has anybody
Oh wait,
gotten a pair of shoes with their belts?
uh, no, but I'm pretty sure that didn't the Acclaimed win theirs on the uh, I don't know. I can't remember shit anymore. So
Okay, great journalism. Scooter.
um, well, I mean, it's still on the topic of AEW women. Uh, Congratulations go out to Ruby Soho,
Yes,
who
she got that
uh,
9-month injury.
uh, and here's the thing: they're going to do a storyline on whether or not it's Eddie Kingston's.
I was because the whole thing is she's with Angelo Parker.
He,
I want I so badly want the baby to be Danny Magic's. That promo would be absolute dynamite. With that voice, with that enthusiasm.
oh, I wanted to, and please forgive me here, world. Uh, I want it to be a whole a well, I mean, I kind of want it to be Kingston's, just so everybody can get the image of Kingston fucking someone in their head. Oh, oh, yeah, Inoki! You
Why?
cannot, you cannot tell me he wouldn't shout Inoki's name when when engaging in sexual relations.
He dedicated that sexual performance to Anoki. Each
But
knee,
but
san. Oh, well, I think we could
oh
just finish this. I think.
that's what I was gonna say. I wanted to be there. This whole thing where it's between uh, Daddy Magic and Parker, only for the baby to be black.
Surprise! It was Nyla Rose's. We are
You
so con-
know,
we're getting canceled for this. This is a
yeah, but you know what? That's a thing uh, AEW would do.
and to make it better, do it in Oklahoma.
I th- I th- I think it would be a good way to debut Moose.
Oh, oh God. Um. Also, continuing with AEW doing things. Kenny Omega made some comments revolving around the brawl out in at All Out. Was it All Out? Yeah, All Out. With the
Mm,
Young Bucks
mm,
himself and CM Punk.
it was all in.
All In was with Jack Perry. All Out was with the Bucks and Kenny.
They were both within a week, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Um, no, no. All Out. It was the previous year at All Out that the Brawl Out happened.
No, yeah, it,
CM Punk didn't make it to All Out the next year because of the altercation with Jack Perry.
he he wrestled Samoa Joe at the start of the show.
Yeah, and he was supposed to wrestle Ricky Starks the week after at All Out, but he didn't.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. All out and all in were in the same week, so it kind of really doesn't matter anymore.
Well, what I'm getting at was the Brawl Out at All Out with between the Bucks, Kenny Omega, and CM Punk. Kenny Omega commented on his Twitch stream. I believe he was playing Street Fighter.
As he
Um,
always does.
right, and he pretty much said, I'm paraphrasing here. You could go to other news sources to find the exact quotes. But he pretty much was stating that he went into the situation to de-escalate it. He knew that there was some, obviously some heated thoughts on CM Punk's part, and that there was some heated comments coming from the Bucks as well. He was there to de-escalate things. When they actually got in the room, his only goal was to save Larry. Um, he felt between thinking that his job was to de escalate the situation to actually getting in the room, his only job was to save the dog. So it kind of tells you where the Young Bucks were walking to CM Punk's dressing room, that he felt like there was no other option, that this was going to end badly, and he still kind of let it happen. Um, he more or less said that it's not how he would have handled things. That he has had contact with CM Punk, and as of as far as he knows, there is no heat or issues between him and Punk. I'm not sure if you saw the full comments or not, or if this is the first you're hearing of it. But what's your kind of thoughts on Kenny Omega kind of playing babyface to the heel Bucks and Tony Khan?
Well, honestly, after after hearing uh, uh, after hearing what Kenny said, this now sounds like a work more than ever. I
Okay,
mean,
like what? Continue your thought, and then I'll
is it? I mean, him thinking it would him thinking he would be able to de-escalate it, and then immediately switching it to oh, I'm going to save your dog, punk. He would have never seen that dog again. But like it all just seems uh, too much of a work to be a fake work. I mean, other than that, I mean,
I don't I don't think it's a walk. What would he necessarily have to gain by working literally anybody at this point? It's not like, there's a timetable when he comes back, or, when he like in 3 weeks, oh, I'm coming back to AEW and I'm going to wrestle the Young Bucks. No, there is no timetable. There is no. We're not even sure if he'll be able to wrestle again. Um, so he really doesn't have any gain by
there
working anybody at this point, if
there
I'm being honest.
there there is the possibility that uh, Omega knew what was more than likely going to go down and changed his strategy before getting involved, knowing this would probably be a fucked situation either way. So let me appear like a neutral party.
Do you it from what I kind of got from his comments was that he didn't necessarily want to take responsibility for what was going on in AEW. That he made it very clear that he's not a VP anymore. That he has no power, and it seems like he was more pro CM Punk in that situation than the guys that he's more associated with, the Young Bucks. Um, you know, things change. People have different outlooks. After 5 years, it kind of seems like he doesn't agree with what is happening in AEW anymore, or maybe he never did. Um, and maybe he's just too nice of a guy to say something or speak up or speak out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm being completely honest, when Kenny Omega does come back, because I think he might have one more run in him, I don't think he's going to stay with AEW. I
No,
think
neither do I.
I think he's going to ask for a release or wait for his contract to expire, and I think he might take some good WWE money, have a um a little good run, have a couple of good matches with the big stars, get a Hall of Fame ring, and go into the good night. That's my take on it anyway.
I think you left one thing out.
Yeah.
Uh, he's got to do that initial no longer associated with AEW Indie Tour.
I mean, does he though?
I mean, Cody did the 10 match tour,
That
which
was a
was
that
that was after New Japan before AEW. Uh, and one of the people on that list was Pat Suck.
well. It definitely it's definitely going to see interesting to see how this will develop going forward. Um, another news of Brawl out or CM Punk's comments, the backstage video being revealed. Um, Jack Perry wrestled for New Japan. I want to say last Friday at Windy City Riot um, in Chicago, and if I'm being completely honest, he got a good reaction from that crowd. And you would think being in Chicago, considering who he had the brawl out with, the crowd was mixed for him. They were some people were chanting for him, some people were chanting against him, but it was mainly all on Jack Perry. Like he got a good pop, if I'm being honest. What are your thoughts on Jack Perry actually getting, maybe some positivity out of all of this, even though it's a negative gimmick that is beheld by somebody else?
And the reaction is a complete fluke. Uh, he got he either got lucky or he found the one crowd in Chicago that actually despises CM Punk. Which by that uh, I'm talking about White Sox fans.
Well, keeping up on Windy City Riot, um, when was the last time we talked about New Japan? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean the fact that uh, I'm assuming you're going to go into
Yeah,
Mox.
right. And that's kind of what I was kind of alluding to. You know, we haven't been talking. The last time I feel like the last time we talked about New Japan like legitimately was in January for Wrestle Kingdom. They just announced, like maybe a couple days ago, the best of the Super Juniors. Nothing necessarily to write home about. Nothing really to be covered, if I'm being honest. Um, and now, last week, John Moxley, AEW wrestler, won the IWGP World Championship from Tetsuya Naito. Um, and I kind of understand why they did it, and I still question why they did it. They
Yeah.
need, some positive buzz on them, but was John Moxley really the best guy to do that?
Mm, mm, no, no. But I mean, you can't have Mox, giving one of his, you know, uh, coach at the end of a sport uh, movie speeches where he inspires everybody to just be like, "Yeah, let's go get it! Whoa, we're number one." Uh, I'm also convinced that Moxley is either the best liar or he just likes lying because the man will never take any time off again. It's like every time we get some hope that he will rest. Nope, here's Mox.
I mean, when's the last time you've seen him off AEW TV? Not even, to take maybe, a vacation, but just like give the people like a breather.
I mean, it's it's a bit it is ridiculous at this point.
I mean, would have would it have been maybe better to have somebody like Daniel Bryan win the championship from Naito?
I think Brian Danielson has kind of wrote his own path into permanent mid card status in AEW.
Hmm.
There is nothing appealing about Brian Danielson, at least anymore.
I don't feel like there was ever anything appealing. I mean, WWE made him appealing with what they did with him. But like, Ring of Honor, Daniel Bryan, I don't necessarily see the appeal.
Yeah, I
But
mean, yeah. Whoever from Seattle has cornrows, man.
it's a good question.
What what white guy that isn't selling pot? Which, let's face it, Brian Danielson probably is because it's organic and shit. Um, it's it's also kind of a reaction to what's happening in WWE.
You think?
At least some of it is. I'd say I'd say maybe 49%. Uh, I mean, there's a Samoan versus Rhodes at WrestleMania twice, and they're like, "Hey, we've got a Samoan. Uh, who's our Rhodes?" Ugh, Dustin. And they go into Samoa Joe and Dustin Rhodes. By the way, Dustin Rhodes will now never be let out of his contract ever again.
Doesn't seem like he wants to be let out of his contract. He seems to be happy.
Oh, some at some point in the last month, he he said he would like to end uh end his career with Cody as possible, if possible.
We'll
Um,
see how that goes. But, when it comes to, Moxley winning the IWGP Championship, I do think that they just did it for the publicity, and I don't necessarily think that it's going to hold. I don't think it's going to be something that people are going to continue looking at one way or the other. Um, when you think strong style, you don't think garbage deathmatch wrestler John Moxley, and that's just my opinion.
It's funny because I didn't know this title change had happened until many days after it was already done. Um, I didn't spot it amongst the number of articles I have, scrolling in on my feed, and it, you might as well just start calling Mox. Uh, Ooh, a little blood. Ooh, a little more blood. Ooh, a little more blood. Ooh, a little more blood. I mean, pretty soon he's going to be a spokesperson for a clotting medication.
We're still waiting for it.
Hi. It, you may know me as IWGP and former AEW and WWE World Champions. You may also know me by my other name, John Moxley Paquette. And you know what? Bleeding is no laughing matter, even when it comes to my face. But sometimes I have to keep the face oh so pretty. And, that, and that's where, uh, uh, oh, damn it. Oh, I had, uh, uh, and that's where face poise comes in. It's not underwear for women. It's a mask for men. So you can bleed all you want and only get and you can be a different Bob Orton and only pick up 5% of hepatitis.
On the WWE side of news, Chad Gable has turned heel, attacking Sami Zayn after their match on Raw last week.
So fucking stupid.
Yeah. With all of the good shit that WWE's been doing as of late, this was bad shit in my opinion.
Like he you know, Sami Zayn and Chad Gable are two guys that could get over just by wrestling a long and drawn out match. Why Chad Gable had to go heel away from the Alpha Academy is also a huge surprise. Uh, you know, every well, to be fair, everyone thinks whoever's with Otis will turn on Otis. Um,
Um, Only Tucker Knight turned on Otis, as far as I
exact
know.
exactly. Uh, but oh man, uh, you know, I would have. Uh, it, it it's like you know there's always that unwritten rule about superstars usually always losing now in their hometowns, uh, and when that doesn't happen, something like this happens.
I mean, that's always been the case.
I mean, when Chad when Chad Gable was a heel initially, uh, he turned into that asshole that you kind of just want to say, shut the fuck up. But then you grew to like him, and he became the likable asshole.
That was
And then
Alpha
he,
Academy from the very start.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that that and a bit of Otis, quite a bit of Otis, uh, got got it to where it got Otis over again, and it actually gets over. And I apologize to her in advance, because and this is clearly becoming less of the case every day. Uh, it got what probably was the worst managerial gimmick uh, over of all time. I
The
mean,
maximum male models.
yeah, yes, they took Maxine, and yeah, when she's around the arm of Otis, it's like Otis projects a cloud of just I'm gonna hug you.
That he
And I'll be like, no,
projected
thanks.
an aura of each knee son. Oh, for Noki.
When you did. I'm surprised you knew how to count to three in Japanese.
I know how to count to 10, bitch.
But can you count to 55?
If I remember properly, then yeah, I could count to
uh,
69.
nice.
Yeah,
See, even though we're old, we know the memes.
you're old. I'm not old. I just act old.
Wrestling with, we've got the memes.
We got the memes. Yeah, we got the
It's like
memes.
the Arby's commercials.
Oh, okay.
We have the meats.
What was we talking about?
uh,
Chad Gable turning heel.
WWE, yeah, the WWE being schmucks for turning him heel in such a contrived way that I think, honestly, I think I think for right now, I think Chad Gable is dead in the water.
I disagree with you on that. Um, if he was ever going to die in a gimmick, it was going to be Shorty G, and he still got that over. That like I said, I don't agree with them turning him heel. He could have been if they would have did what they were supposed to do at Mania and put the Intercontinental Championship on him. He could have been in that upper echelon of guys that they currently have that gets big pops. I have no doubt that he'll get over as a heel. Um, he is the chicken salad master in that regard. But the problem I have is he ever going to get back um, to that level of over that he was right before WrestleMania? And I don't think he necessarily is. And if it wasn't then, will it ever happen? That's where I'm really upset when it comes to Chad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think his push is dead in the water.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, he won't. He can. He'll get back to that place on his own. He's proven he can do that.
Multiple times.
Yeah, this is not a choice of him. Uh, this is a choice of others booking. So, I mean, that's about it. But if I mean, is it is it possible Chad's going to be involved with the Olympics in some manner, and it's just a way to kind of write him off for the time being?
I don't think so. If there was anybody that would be a part of the Olympics in any capacity, I would imagine it was Chad Gable Stevenson.
And not his brother Damon Sean Kemp.
I have no idea what that means.
ECW, NXT, Damon Kemp.
Yeah, I don't watch NXT.
Uh, well, guess what? Because this next piece of news is about NXT.
Oh
It's
God.
about a former friend of mine who is now an enemy. Uh, well, when back when we reported about Ronda Rousey complaining about the 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 touchy hands of Drew Gulak. I mean, I think we were all in shock, not because of what happened, because it actually managed to happen at all. I mean, Drew is one of the best catch can wrestlers uh, that's ever stepped in the ring. Uh, but he's now been written off written off permanently from the no quarter nickel and dime trucking crew or whatever it is they're called with William Regal's kid Chuck Dempsey. Uh, uh, oh God! So yeah, he is no longer associated, and he will be off television for quite a while. Uh,
I don't think it's a permanent thing, if I'm being honest. I think it's just
I want I I want to know what Rhonda has to make them take this seriously.
I don't
To
necessarily
even
think it's anything he has per se, but it just, obviously she's a big name. People are going to take her word for it, whether it's true or not. So instead of, clashing with her, just put the guy in the backstage for a little while until things blow over, bring him back, maybe put a mustache on him. Um,
he already has a mustache.
then put a mustache on top of his mustache, or maybe dye it.
You
Um,
know, have him come in on one of those weirdly those tricycles with the huge front wheel,
yeah, there you go.
and everything he speaks is in title card because he doesn't have a voice because he's stuck being a villain in old timey movie.
And like I said, I don't think that he's going to get fired. Simply for the fact that he could get out of it with a PowerPoint presentation.
Uh, well, he was giving her a PowerPoint something. Uh,
Each knee,
but
son, uh, for
see,
Noki.
you get you get pissed at me for doing a joke like Inoki, and now you can't stop.
Because it's a good joke. And it's
Oh my
relevant to
god!
what we're talking about.
Oh, oh my god! And oh, I don't want. Oh, I didn't. You know what? Whether it happened or not, Ronda Rousey is still a twat. Uh,
And that brings us
I'm sorry. Yes.
to our
Yes.
next piece of
Move on
news.
quickly.
Eric Rowan appears to be coming back to WWE. He was advertised for a show, an independent show, and they reportedly pulled him because he had other obligations. So yeah, he's going back to WWE. Probably something involving Uncle Howdy. Um,
Uh,
and
last night,
huh?
last night on SmackDown, there was another QR code.
So and depending on who you ask, Matt Hardy is a free agent as well. And he is in talks with WWE. He is in the communication. Um, so that kind of brought people to speculate that the Wyatt Six will be an actual faction of people from Bray Wyatt's past. Um, Uncle Howdy, Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, Alexa Bliss, and Matt Hardy. Your thoughts, Scooter?
That that is that is that is genius. Aside from my idea of Bo being essentially reincarnated as Bray, and whoever knows, that might still happen.
What?
But it's a great idea. The thing is that there are a lot of popular. It's 50% already over. Former world champions.
What do you mean
So
over world champions?
uh, Braun, Alexa, and okay, all right, fine. It's 33%.
And
Uh,
if Braun Strowman was so over, then why was he tag teaming with Ricochet before he got injured?
because they had come to learn to Strowman had learned to respect the flippy shit. I mean, hey, Braun Strowman is the reason we have. It's the reason why it's called flippy shit.
I mean, it was always called flippy shit.
Kind of sounds like a skin rash.
Something that
You need flippy shit. Flippy shit. Uh,
the spokesperson, Vince McMahon.
well, yeah. Now I want Vince to start marketing an ED pill.
Can you continue your thoughts on the Wyatt Six?
I'm I'd be worried about too too many people in there getting the right amount of time to what their what would the long term goal of uh this stable, what would it be? I mean, is it just so that Bray's memory can live on, or is there actual work that Bray never got to finish?
Well, you
So
have to
it's
imagine maybe. quite possibly the first rivalry would be with Bobby Lashley, because that's kind of where Bray left off. Lashley's with the Street Profits right now, so Braun and Eric Rowan would be, they would take on the Street Profits, and obviously Alexa would be doing her Alexa thing. But I kind of feel like with everything kind of going on in the bloodline, and we'll get there when we get there. War games, the Wyatt Six versus the Bloodline.
I think it may. I think that might just end up being Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Um, the Bloodline needs to come back together.
Well, last night, for the first time in 1,300 and what's it? 21, and then another sentence. In 1,328 days that we have heard the chant, "We want Roman."
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
Roman's off doing a movie right now, so we'll see what
Oh,
what happens
oh
there.
yeah, that buddy comedy with Jason Momoa.
Kiki Palmer, isn't it? And I think Seth Rogen.
Um, I was joking, just based on the fact that I can't tell whether it's Jason Momoa or Roman Reigns.
Ah, so jokes. Well, we could kind of get into what's going on with the Bloodline right now. It does appear that Solo Sokoa has taken over as the tribal chief with his new protege Tamatunga. I think it's honestly great shit. I think that it breathes new life into, a 4-year storyline. Um, and it gives Jimmy, a hill to actually climb. Adversity that he's never been able to have because Jay already had that adversity done to him while Jimmy was on the show. So it's kind of this is definitely his sink or swim opportunity here. But I mean, Tamatonga is going to do good shit, and it's going to be interesting to see how Solo responds to everything as well.
I'm I'm curious if they would go as far enough as to get Tungaloa too.
I think he's still on the contract, but they did sign another Samoan, um, something Fatu,
Jacob.
Jacob Fatu. So I mean, he's going to be coming around sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it's making me think that they're gonna unveil one one new face member of the bloodline, one new heel member of the bloodline,
This
and
is the blood cell bloodline, and this is the blue blood cell line.
yeah, and the thing about it is, I really was I was really kind of missing Roman.
Yeah, because
Like,
people are acting out of line because the tribal chief isn't there. But when he does come back, you're gonna see heads are gonna roll, and he's gonna get that big pop.
you know, Lou, I'll pay any price. You get him back to us safely and as quickly as possible.
Somebody that wasn't safe. Actually, no, we won't go there quite yet. We got new tag team championship designs. Um, I think they look great. They're world tag team championships. So,
Well, the Raw ones are World Tag Team Champions.
and
Uh,
SmackDown will obviously beat WWE.
yes, we're going back to the old school rules of the draft.
Yeah. So they look great in my opinion. I'm so glad they
Yeah,
got away from the copper penny look.
yeah, the copper, the penny, the nickel and dime.
Yeah. But you have any extra thoughts on those
Yeah,
titles?
I honestly, I think those titles might have more gold in them than the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE World Championship.
Well, maybe the WWE, but
The
the other one,
Undisputed Universal.
yeah. But the World Heavyweight is pretty gold, I would say.
Yeah, but the entire front plate is actually gold.
Hmm.
There's that uh, white uh, circle in the middle on the the world belts that is clearly not made of gold. If it was made of white gold, I don't think they'd let anybody carry those around. Mm-hmm. But other than that, they they really do look like the old school ones, and I'm not talking about the ones uh, after the very first draft. I'm talking about the ones that you usually saw, from 1993 to 2001, well, 2000, 1997, uh, from 1985 to 1997, and that had that tiny little splash of color and the red lettering that made him stand out. This front plate, honestly, it is. I think it's genius. Uh, it's also possibly, and I can't believe I'm actually gonna say this. Uh, it might lead to Nick Aldis stepping in the ring, because when Austin Aries and uh, yeah, Grayson's Anatomy uh, got their new belts, they didn't seem too happy, and they pulled a bait and switch with Triple H and a handshake. And Nick Aldis steps in and it's like, if you ever do that again, I will. The roster will make sure you disappear along with those titles.
Damn.
I'm like, God damn! Like, now I know why Mickey loves him. Like, I think I fell in love with him after that.
Well, we actually have some breaking news right as of right now. Um, Zaya Lee and Jinder Mahal announces that they have departed from WWE.
Oh, I'm 50% upset.
For who exactly?
You know, just like when it seemed he was getting ready for at least another slight, resurgence of his push. Uh, he walks out. Well, I don't know, not walking out. I don't know what the conditions are about his release. But where does Indusure go? And
They're
hey,
unsure.
does this mean we can get Shanky back?
Yes. God,
Please.
please let us bring Shanky back.
They're bringing Shanky back. Yeah, them Indusure boys don't know how to act. Yep.
So they're pairing them with LA
And
Knight.
uh, oh, and speaking of LA Knight,
Yeah.
uh, he is not the one that's going to be facing Cody at Backlash Francais,
Well, we kind of knew that already.
which that kind of makes me think this year is his for Money in the Bank.
Well, we'll see about that. Other than that one time they tried to do something with Jinder Mahal. It was kind of like you said, kind of back and forward. And I feel like if Tony Khan didn't give those comments when he did, if it was at any other time other than right before WrestleMania, I kind of feel like they would have put the belt on Jinder just to hinder Tony. Or at least
Mm,
make the rivalry between him and Seth a little bit longer than it was.
I think that if those uh, comments from Tony did not happen, Jinder would be released a lot sooner.
Interesting. I don't necessarily see, unfortunately, I don't see Jinder doing anything in, AEW or New Japan. Probably New Japan
Oh,
will take him.
uh,
They've lowered their standards in the last couple of years.
I mean,
And
maybe he could come back as a Samoan.
oh God. And obviously TNA has no standards whatsoever. They'll take anybody's sloppy seconds. So he always has a home there. Maybe they could have a reunion of the two-man band with Heat. There you go. Um, but Xia Li,
Wait,
man, she was so good and never got the opportunity to actually show it. But that's just
who's
my opinion.
Xia Li?
Huh?
Who's Xia Li? Uh, yeah, it's sad, but quite honestly, you're really gonna try and get another female warrior gimmick over? I mean, why do you think that 2,000-year-old woman suddenly turned into uh, someone wearing feety pajamas named Wendy Chu?
Mm,
And why do you think the guy that was trying to cosplay as the Great Muda uh, got outright released?
have they got released?
And yeah, Boa he's been gone for a while.
Hmm, I forgot about. Or maybe I didn't hear it at all.
They seem to be doing that a lot with the stars that are supposed to bring hype with them. Only only for them to realize that nope, there's no hype left.
Well, we'll see what happens with Zaya. I think she maybe has a bright future. If she starts popping off somewhere, given Bengal matches, which I think she can possibly do. Maybe it won't be the last time we see her in a WWE ring. But um, Jinder, the only shot he's got coming back to WWE is if they induct the Dream Man band into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but then that means Drew goes in again.
Yeah.
Because you know he'll go in before three man band.
Oh yeah.
Uh, hashtag Jinder got hindered.
And even Heat will go in. That'll be Heat's second as well. He's going in with Nexus. Okay. Um,
Yep.
and then the last bit of news this week. The biggest news I think this week was that Rhea Ripley, mommy, forfeited the title. Um, it kind of came out of nowhere, and it does. Me personally, I feel like they're covering something up rather than explaining it. But what say you, Scooter?
Uh, say that again. I'm sorry.
Rhea Ripley,
Oh
forfeited the
yes.
championship.
Yeah, that's surprisingly odd. Uh, given that she is that she basically went through all the roster already. So I don't know if this is actually like perfect, but it's a good way to get Liv back and back to the overness level she had before being out of action.
Well, I, uh, and my personal feelings is start calling Liv Morgan the prodigal daughter because she took out mommy. Um, this might make her even more over, but maybe not in the most positive light because people love their mommy, and there was actually some boos for Liv. We'll kind of see how that will play out. Um, but I feel like it was. They said that the injury will be 3 months. Rhea has gone a lot longer than 3 months. Not wrestling. As champion. So I'm not thinking that this is a 3 month injury. I think this might actually be a 9 month injury, if you know what I mean.
They wouldn't. Uh, one would they be willing to break kayfabe like that and reveal her relationship with Buddy Matthews?
Where they didn't. As
Uh,
far as you know, she just has a wrist injury that has prevented her from competing.
uh, they they wouldn't get away with it. Uh, they just wouldn't get away with it.
And what if they
And
do?
then
They might have one
and
out.
then if someone hasn't doesn't notice within the span of the next 5 to 7 months. Uh, I mean, it'd be great if they could get Buddy back, and
Nobody cares about Buddy. I'm being
and,
completely
and
honest.
then, but what they could do another ladder match between Dom and Buddy.
Oh God. And throw Andrade in there because he had a lot of match with him too, for God knows reason why.
Uh, I I honestly think the injury is legit uh, to a degree. I also expect Liv Morgan to try and I can't believe I'm saying this. Get Dom in the sack.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that as well. That definitely should be a part of it. Does Judgment Day bring a second female into the group since Rhea will be out for quite some time?
Well, technically third since they already have Dom.
Okay. I think
He
that
got a
this.
new vagina in prison.
I think that you maybe call up JC Jane.
Mm, no, no, because JC Jane hates that the goth shit. Now Gigi Dolan,
But they already have a goth in their faction. There can be only one goth.
yes, but if you want a crazy female that isn't you know named Stephanie, uh, Gigi would be the best.
For shits and
I mean,
giggles, what about Deer Hill?
oh man, so people need to stop giving her Red Bull for breakfast.
Well, that's Chase Chase's responsibility now, isn't it? All right, I think we pretty much covered everything that happened this week. Um, unless Vince McMahon adopts more puppies.
Wait, hold on. Hello, yes, this is Vince. I have just adopted a sloth. That's right, a sloth. It's the only creature that can move faster than Donald Trump.
And he's naming him Anoki. That will conclude the news. And now, a quick word from our sponsors.